So I'm super excited. I'm talking today about self-care, and this is hands down one of my favorite topics. We really have to give ourselves the love that we so freely give to other people. So I want to start by having you all close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Let it all the way out. And I want you to imagine with complete clarity every single person that you take care of. I want you to picture their eyes, their cute little noses, picture their smiles. What do they feel like? What do they sound like? What do they smell like? And I want you to hold them in your thoughts. And keeping your eyes closed, I want you to imagine what would happen to them if you could no longer take care of them. Now we're going to take that one step further. And I want you to imagine if not only could you not take care of them, but somehow, some way, either they or all the resources that you've dedicated towards them had to be used to take care of you. Open your eyes. So who here wants to make sure that that doesn't happen? Good, I'm in the right room. All right, so I'm going to share with you guys some really effective strategies and tools for self-care. But before we get started, I want to share my personal story. So 2 years ago, I got hit with a really bad form of neurological Lyme. At the time, our kids were 6, 4, and 1. I was working in our busy practice and helping manage our amazing team. I ended up with meningitis and encephalitis, and I literally lost my mind. I remember one day in particular being on my way to work. It's 2 miles from our house. I've driven there almost every day for the last nearly decade. I pulled the car over to the side of the road. I got on my phone and I opened Google Maps and I had to type in the address because I couldn't find my way. I remember on another occasion in the middle of the night, it was between Sunday and Monday morning, I woke Jason up at 3 a.m. because my head hurt so bad. It was the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. And I've had 3 kids naturally, so it was way beyond that. And I made him stay up with me, even though I knew that we both had a really busy day the next day and we needed our sleep. Because I was afraid that if I fell back asleep, I won't wake up. And I didn't want our kids to not have a mom. And literally now, I can say that Lyme is the best thing that happened for me, not to me. Because I truly believe that things happen for us, not to us. I was given a mountain so that I can show others that it can be moved. And so what Lyme did for me is that it made me realize that self-care is non-negotiable. I have to put myself at least near the top of my to-do list every day. And I know that we all know that self-care is really important. And so for whatever reason, we struggle to make the time for it. And I think what's really important to highlight is that even though this is not a religious talk by any means, even thousands of years ago, self-care was highlighted in the Bible. The angel came back, he shook him awake again, and he said, get up and eat some more, you've got a long journey ahead of you. He got up, he ate, he drank his fill, and he set out. Nourished by that meal, he walked 40 days and nights all the way to the mountain. When he got there, he crawled into a cave and he went to sleep. So if we had to really highlight this, because it was so hard to fit it in back then, how in the world are we supposed to do this now? We need to put ourselves to the top of our to-do list every single day and trust that the rest will fall into place. I love quotes, but I really just don't think in this situation that a pretty quote from Pinterest is enough to do it. So the best way, and the only way, that we're going to make ourselves a priority is that we have to leverage it. So the way we leverage it is we have to define who you have to show up for. So this is who I show up for. Our Levi, our Wyatt, Kaya, our family. I want to be the best version for our family. My parents, our amazing team, our patients, our virtual community, my husband, our relationship, but most importantly, I want to show up for myself. You know, this message is so important that literally every time we get on an airplane, it's one of the first things we hear. Place the oxygen mask on yourself first before helping small children or others who may need your assistance. So what would happen, God forbid, if there were an emergency and we put the mask on our child first? What could potentially happen? We go down. I love this. We literally don't have the time to go down. We have people that need us. This is not about us, it's about them. And so I truly believe, and I know now, that taking care of ourselves is not only not selfish, it is the most selfless thing that we can do. This is not about you. This is about all the people that you help every single day. So I'm all about simplifying things. So I came up with the 3 self-care systems. I'm going to teach you how to say no. I'm going to help you define your focus. And I'm going to help you implement a little thing that I like to call one a day. So for whatever reason, a lot of us have a really hard time saying no. And a few years ago, my friend Allie shared a really neat acronym for the word no. She said it stands for nourish oneself. And so that's helped me because every time I say no, I know that I'm nourishing myself so that I can take care of my children. Saying no lets me say yes to the things that are more important to me. Let me give you an example. Have you ever woken up one day, say it's Monday, and you're like, okay, today I'm gonna eat healthy, right? I'm gonna clean up everything, this is gonna be the day. Maybe you even pack yourself like healthy meals for the day, and you show up to work or the office or somewhere with your girlfriends, and there's a plate of cupcakes. It's boom, right there in your face. Saying no in that instance allows you to say yes to feeling good. It allows you to say yes to having the energy to be there for your children. It allows you to say yes to being the best version of yourself. One of my patients also, she used to struggle with saying no, and so she shared this story with me, and I love it. So she had to leverage saying no in such a way that in her mind she had an appointment. And she was a really busy woman, 3 kids, full-time job, really hard worker, lots going on in the house. And one of the things she did for herself is she grabbed a friend and they'd go out for a mani-pedi. Maybe once every few months, but it meant the world to her. And so what they decided to do was they decided to call their manicure pedicure appointment an M&P meeting. And to them it was a management and planning meeting. And so if someone asked them to either stay later at work or show up for something else, they knew in their minds that they could not miss this management and planning meeting. Our self-care is that important. It's nobody's jobs to know or respect our boundaries. It's our job. And being comfortable saying no is what allows us to do that. I lied, I said I was busy. I was busy, but not in a way most people understand. I was busy taking deeper breaths. I was busy silencing irrational thoughts. I was busy calming the racing heart. I was busy telling myself I'm okay. Sometimes this is my busy and I will not apologize for it. You know, self-care again allows us to give the world the best of us instead of what's left of us. We can also use body language to help us say no if it's not easy for us. I'll show you an example. Christina asked me if I can stay late for work.
Can you stay late for work today?
No, I was gonna do this thing, but I mean, I guess, do you really need me to? I mean, I probably can. Ask me to stay late for work.
All right, so you'll stay late for work?
Ask me again, can I stay late for work?
Can you stay late for work?
You know what, I would love to. I have this really important appointment, so I'll be there tomorrow and I'll do everything you need then, okay? Which one is most effective? Second one. When we're sure of ourselves, people understand our boundaries, and that's the only way they're gonna respect them. Defining our focus. In a world of a million to-dos, creating funnel vision around what we're focused on is the best way to be effective. Let me give you another example. Have you ever been maybe, say, picking up the kitchen? You're picking up the kitchen and you find a book. And so you take that book over and you set it on the coffee table. When you're doing that, you see a pile of dust. And so you go get the broom and you get the dustpan and you scoop up the dust. So you get the garbage can, and when you put the dust in the garbage can, you see that the garbage can is full. So you tie it up, you take it out to the garbage, and while you're out there, you see a pile of weeds, so you get where I'm going. So defining our focus is really important. So if you're cleaning the kitchen, you're cleaning the kitchen, you do not leave the kitchen. So something that I like to do for self-care for myself and taking care of our family is cook. Okay, I don't love cooking. Is feeding everybody healthy food. And so that involves cooking. I'm very protective of my time, and so I time chunk. And what I do is I meal plan and I cook twice a week. And I make this a whole thing because it's my focus. So I have an idea of what I'm gonna make, which is typically the exact same thing every week because it just makes life easy. And I get all the ingredients out, turn on my music, I get a coffee or a tea or a glass of wine, depending on how the day went. I get out the cutting board, my favorite knife, I chop everything all at once, and then I cook everything all at once. And then I put it in these cute little dishes because it just makes me feel good about life. And then I put it in the fridge. When I'm doing this, this is my focus. I'm not taking phone calls, I'm not doing emails, I'm not worried about the dishes or my laundry. They are my focus.
You don't even read a text?
Yeah, I try not to. All right, so this is a video. I don't think it's gonna play, but this is from a movie, The Pursuit of Happiness, and it just highlights the importance of time chunking, which is something I'm really big on. And so what I do when I make my to-do list is I kind of like throw everything on paper. It looks like a disaster. And then I chunk it down. And so I put everything under categories, and it takes like 30 seconds to do this. But I categorize things according to what they are. So if it's a phone call, they're all in one section. If it's something on the computer, they're in one section. If it's out and about, they're in one section. It's incredible how much we can really get done when we focus. Lastly, the one a day. So there's something we like to talk about with patients in our office, and it's called the health continuum. And it's basically this scale that goes from 1 to 10, or 0 to 100. And 1 is basically sickness, and 10 or 100 is optimal health and wellness. And so we ask people to rate themselves on this scale from 1 to 10, 1 to 100, either one. Where are you now? Where do you want to be? And what are you doing to get yourself there? What are you doing each day to get yourself there? I think with all that we have going on as caretakers, we can often feel that we're just surviving, and systems like this help us get closer to feeling like we're thriving. It doesn't have to be anything big, but I do think that we need to do something every day that puts us in that direction. It could be reading a book, it could be getting out in nature. I find nature is the ultimate reset. Get out there with your kids, get out there for 5 seconds, it's the ultimate reset. Taking quiet time for yourself, it's often not in our realities, but if you can, it's huge. Something else I've implemented for myself is what I call the power hour. So I wake up every morning, either at 4:30 or 4:40 in the morning. People think I'm crazy, but this is my time. It's the only time that I usually have for myself. And so sometimes I'm killing it, and I'm doing emails, and I'm working on our virtual community, and some days I'm literally just sitting there staring out the window with a cup of coffee, like in complete silence. Again, I love systems. So Taco Tuesday, does anyone in here do Taco Tuesday?
Taco Bell.
We don't eat Taco Tuesday. So every Tuesday in our house, without fail, is Taco Tuesday. I don't have to think about what we're making. The kids know what we're having. There's less fighting, and so it just is what it is. So I got this from a website, an amazing website called projecthappiness.org. And it's basically something that you can put on a calendar as an idea, as a theme for your one a day if you can't think of something. So Mindful Monday. I think that a lot of us really take a lot on Mondays. And so Mondays is a really good day to work to fit in being mindful. Taking time to just be. So often Monday mornings, my power hour, I'm literally sitting there doing nothing. Gratitude Day. When we're in a state of gratitude, we literally cannot feel fear or anger. And I really believe that we can all find something, no matter how bad our lives are or what we have going on, we can always find something to be grateful for. You know, maybe it's that we made it through the night. Maybe it's that we made it through the last 30 seconds. Maybe it's that the sun came up. We can literally find something every day to be grateful for. Wellness Wednesday. I think that moving our physical bodies is one of the best ways to be the best version of ourselves. And so Wellness Wednesday, to me, is all about doing something active. It doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to have a gym membership. I literally did a hotel workout yesterday. I did 15 jumping jacks, 15 squats, 15 sit-ups. 14 jumping jacks, 14 squats, 14 sit-ups, all the way down to 1. I'm still sore. It took me 20 minutes. I didn't have any equipment, and I did it in our hotel room. Thoughtful Thursday. I want to be careful with this group, but Thoughtful Thursday is about doing something for somebody else. I know you guys are doing a lot for other people, so just be mindful of that one. Freedom Friday. This is allowing yourself to try something new without the fear of judgment or failure from yourself or somebody else. Social Saturday, grab a friend, get out. And Soulful Sunday, do whatever makes your soul happy. And if all those are too overwhelming for you, we can all just breathe. We all have access to it. Doesn't cost any money, doesn't take any extra time. There are 2 breathing exercises I'm going to share with you. One is called the 8-4-7 breath, all numbers, 8-4-7. And the other one is called alternate nostril breathing. So I love focusing on breathing because it literally is one of the most effective ways to get us into the present moment. And it's really when we're thinking about the future or the past that we get anxious and stressed. So go ahead and put your pens down. And we'll do 3 cycles of the 8-4-7 breath. So what you're going to do, I'll explain it first and then we'll do it together. You're going to breathe in for a count of 8, then we're going to hold it for 4, and then we're going to breathe out for a count of 7. So let's all do it together. Ready? Breathe in. Hold it for 4. Breathe out for 7. Breathe in. Hold it for 4. Breathe out for 7. One more. Breathe in. Hold it for 4. Breathe out for 7. Good. You feel that? All right, the other one is a little confusing, but I'm going to walk you through it. So you're going to put your right hand up, and you're going to use your pinky and your thumb. And you're going to rotate your palm towards your face, and you're going to use your pinky and your thumb to close off the nostril. And I want you to listen to my words and not look at me, because I'm going to have to mirror you guys so I get this right. We're going to start by closing your right nostril, breathing in your left. Close your left nostril, breathe out your right. Keep that nostril open, breathe in that nostril. Close that nostril, breathe out the left. Breathe in the left. Close that nostril, breathe out the right. Good, one more. Breathe in the right. Close that nostril, breathe out the left. Last part of it, breathe in the left. Close that nostril, breathe out the right. So good for de-stressing. If you guys have a hyperbaric oxygen chamber, do your breathing in the chamber. Hands down, this is my most powerful self-care tool. If you're putting your kids in the chamber, get in with them. I literally would not be standing here if I didn't use the chamber. And of course, before I'm doing something like this, I snuck out earlier this morning and I hopped in the chamber. All right, so in summary, you guys learned 3 systems for self-care. What are they?
Learn to say no.
Learn to say no. What's the next one?
Focus.
Define your focus. If it's not your focus, don't focus on it. And lastly, something you're going to do
Every day.
1 a day. Very good. All right, so I do love quotes and affirmations. I know that we are literally hardwired for negativity. It's part of our survival mechanism. And so I think of positive emotion and hope and will as literally a muscle that we have to exercise every day. And so I surround myself with affirmations and things like this. This board is in our bathroom. It's literally the first thing that I see every morning. I often put up quotes about like dreaming big, working hard. I love that kind of thing. I love to set my destination and then work towards it, whatever that means. And it's interesting when we see ourselves in the eyes of our children, because our 8-year-old Levi will always sneak in and he wipes off the message. And he just reminds me that I'm already doing my best. So I love talking about self-care, health stuff. the reality of life with 3 kids and how messy and imperfect that can be. And we have 3 main platforms. I invite you guys to follow them if you want. I'm all about just sharing free value in case it helps elevate someone, because it elevates me. So they're all called Doctors Saunders. They're just kind of all written a little bit different of a way, depending on the platform, but they're Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. You know, I think that we're all dealt a hand of cards, and I think that some of us are dealt a worse deck than others. And there's 2 things that I know we all have. We have time. Time is the greatest equalizer. It's the only thing that we all have the same amount of. And sometimes time is the only thing that we have. And we all have the opportunity and the choice for hope. It's not about how many times we get knocked down, but it's about how many times we get back up. And you could knock me down 10,000 times, and I'll get up 10,001. And if I was gonna let a tick take me down, so help me God. So I wanna close by reminding you guys to give yourself credit for all that you're doing every single day. You're all braver than you believe, you're stronger than you seem, you're smarter than you think, and you're loved more than you'll ever know. I also like to pride myself on being a polite Midwestern girl, but sometimes, with the challenges that you're all dealing with every day, I think there's a time and a place for a little bit stronger language to bring a point home. So I close with this. I'm Melissa Saunders. Thank you for your time.